Hey guys, Gathering Magic back again, and this is a special video for channel member Doombot75. So he asked the question, with the new bracket system coming to Modern, what would be my thoughts on a good silver level deck? So as you guys probably know, there is a proposal up for bringing brackets back to Modern. Let's take a look at that. Okay. So brackets will be created for Modern, with reward shares allocated as shown. Players will be able to select a bracket at the start of each season. And well, here it says unable to change. You will be able to change, but you'll forfeit. So they have it broken down: bronze, novice, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and champion, the percent of the pool for the amount of SPFs that you'll receive. But here's the main part right here, is how the brackets are broken down. So for silver level, they have level 2 to level 5 commons, level 1 to 4 rares, 1 to 3 epics, and 1 to 2 legendaries. So basically you're maxed out at 5, 4, 3, and 2. So those are the level cards that we're going to look at for Modern. So in Modern, the first place that I want to start, and I hope people don't overlook this for Modern, is Foundations. The Foundation set is not just a great place for new players to start. It's a great set of cards that basically we can earn for free, just playing every day, winning some matches, either getting cards based on when you win 5 games, or if you're in gold, you actually get packs that you can open and get 5 cards. But these cards, some of them are pretty bland, most of them are bland and basic. But the thing in Modern is you want to have as much variety as you can, and the highlight of the set is the Archons. So don't overlook these Archons. You can see here, these are extremely cheap and affordable now, anywhere from 3 to 8 cents. The water one with the +1 magic I see all the time. My favorites in Frontier, of course, are Water, Death, and Earth, but all of them have their place, all of them have their use. So to get these at max level is a level 4 rare. So let's see what the prices are. So there's only a couple available right now. If you wanted to buy them directly, you can see under $1 for life and just over $1, $1.25 for death. But realistically, you can pick up all of these. Probably the most expensive one will be about $2, and then the cheapest one, as you saw, will be under $1. So definitely don't overlook these Archons. These can be used in Wild, these can be used in Modern, Frontier, Survival, everywhere. I am surprised they are this cheap. I just did my Market Watch video and I was saying, why are any of these available at under 10 cents? But that's for another time. So yeah, so don't overlook these. Definitely get these maxed right away. And then for the rest of the Foundation set, the legendary cards, there's also no reason not to have these all maxed out. Especially like the Musketeer, he gets 2 attack, double strike. The Scale Weaver is great with the slow, and when he's leveled up to level 2, he does 3 magic damage. So definitely get your Frontier set maxed. Let's look even at the commons. So level 5 common will be max for silver. Look at this, guys, 6, 8, 10 cents for some of these cards. So there is no reason why you can't easily put together a max Frontier set. As far as the extras go, if you could afford it, I would get at least one of each of the common and the rare. The legendary is up to you. The epic I would stay away from. I mean, $1.50 for basically, one, just a meat shield that's really not even weapons trainable is not worth it. Now, if you do want to max this out at level 3, where it gets the tank heal, then it's got some use. Plus with the flying, maybe it survives a little bit more in the Earthquake rule set. So this one is all or nothing. Either get it to level 3 and get the tank heal, or just avoid it completely. Eris, if you don't mind spending $6.50 to get a copy, this is a great card. You know that Escalation added a lot of high mana cards. This one is high mana, but with the Inspire and the 2 magic damages is a very useful card. So that is what I would say for Foundations. Don't overlook it. Those Archons are amazing that you can get for basically no cost. Okay, so now we've got Rebellion, we've got Conclave Arcana, and we've got Escalation packs, or cards for Modern. Let's start with Core Rebellion. And let's start right with the commons. So you're looking at level 5. Let's see how many of these are actually level 5 so we can take a look at the abilities. So I think most of them are listed here at level 5. So you've got the Trickster with Close Range and Snare. Don't know if this is one I would get to level 5. Snare is not that huge an ability. What I would say for all of these cards, commons, rares, and epics, get at least one of each. Don't worry about being max silver. There's a lot of times where you're going to win a match with a crazy rule set or mix of rule sets where it's just, you just need to have a card to play. You know, your opponent may focus in just on the meta cards and, you know, not take the time to at least get one of each card. So that's my first thing I would say. Get one of each common, one of each rare, and if you can afford it, one of each epic from every set in Modern. You know, Foundations, get the whole set. Rebellion, Conclave Arcana, and Escalation, you know, get at least one of each. So that being said, let's take a look at some of the key cards in the set for the commons for Rebellion. So for the Mystic, having the Lookout and the Void is key. It gets that at level 5, so you definitely want to get that one maxed. Chaos Lackey. This one gets True Strike. Once again, neutral card for Little League. Don't overlook it. Dispel is a useful ability, as is True Strike, and this card is probably pretty cheap. So, yep, less than $1 to get that to level 5. The Drudge with True Strike, another good card. Let's look at the Bandit. Now, the Bandit is a card I would simply get at level 1. You know, it gets one more speed, a little bit more health. But if you are in a budget crunch and you can't get every card to max level, this is one card that I would not worry about getting it to max silver. The Barmaid card I love. Just get this to level 3 to get the stun. Don't worry about getting it to 5. You know, I'm going to try to go the most budget way I can for you guys to get basically the best bang for your buck. You know, a lot of this depends on your budget. I mean, if money's not an object and you want max silver, you know, just go max silver everything. But, you know, most of us can't afford to do that. So I'm just going to try to give you the best budget that I can here. The Yak, I don't think I hardly ever use this card. Simply get one copy of it just to have it. Doesn't really gain much at the higher levels, just a little bit of health. The Mage, once again, just get a copy of that. That should be good enough. The Rear Guard, same thing, just get a copy. The Seeker. A lot of times what you want to do for the common cards is look what they get at max silver at level 5. If they get another ability at 5, go ahead and try to get to that point. Unless the card is out of your budget. But this, you know, being able to miss, you know, some magic attacks miss, you know, maybe it's not that big of a deal, you know, because this is range, it's going to be in the back. So if that is important to you, go for it. Other than that, if you are not concerned about phase, just leave it at level 1. Chaos Orc. This is a card that I thought would be a lot more used than it is in lower leagues. You know, I thought you would see this card all the time. You know, it's got good armor and health, decent speed, 3 attack, and then it's got piercing and trample. I hardly ever see this card played. You know, this is a card that I thought would be really, really played in Modern. It just has not turned out to be the case. I think it's a solid card, but definitely you want to get this at least to level 3, and level 5 with the trample I think is just a little bit of a bonus. The Scout, once again, this card is weapons trainable. It's got Inspire. So all of these Rebellion non-attack cards, you want to get to level 5. There's one I think that gets his ability at 4, but all the other ones get a special ability at level 5, so you definitely want to get them there. You know, this one gets the Inspire. The Botanist, is this the one that gets it at level 4? Okay, so for some reason the Botanist gets its second ability at 4 as opposed to 5. So this one I would definitely get to level 4. If you want to spend, get 30 extra copies just for 1 speed, that's up to you. But if you are on a budget, definitely just stay at level 4. Soldier, great card. This one you definitely want to get to 5 for Shatter, because he has ambush. So he's going to hit that very first attack, he's going to shatter the armor in the back, and then he's going to get his second attack and actually be able to damage your opponent. So definitely get this card to level 5. Next is the Fighter, neutral. This card is used a lot, but if you're on a budget, just go for level 3. Level 5, you're just getting 1 more speed, 1 more armor. Not that big of a deal. So of cost, if you don't want to buy 46 extra copies for that, just leave him at level 3. The Puffer, another great card. Like I said, a non-attack card. You want to get it to level 5 for that silence. That is key. So definitely make sure you go ahead and do that. The Forster, Triage, huge, huge, huge. Once again, another 2 attack or 2 mana card. Weapons trainable, get that sucker to 5. Surveyor, level 5, it gets slow. These 2 mana cards are just so overlooked and so powerful. And then next we have, I don't think all of them are listed, your dual summoners. So I don't know if they're ever going to do this again where you have dual summoners that are common. Now, as we know, like your legendary summoners are dual, and well, some of them are dual, and have the multi abilities. These are very basic, but the key is, even though they don't give abilities to the team, the ability to pull in 2 different splinters and only cost 3 mana, so these can be used in Little League matches, is very clutch. So you definitely want to have these summoners to level 5. And then the last card, the Magician. This is actually quite useful shield, because there are times where this thing will get to the front and then it has shield, so it's going to take less damage and it's going to heal itself in the first position. So don't overlook the shield. Once again, if money is no object, go ahead and get it to level 5. If it is, just go ahead and get this card at level 1. Just get a single copy. Okay, so that's it for the commons. So for this, we're going to focus mainly on the commons and the rares, because that's pretty much the meat of your deck. So rares max out at 4 for silver, but I don't know if it's going to show all of them if I sort them that way. So let's go ahead and just look at all levels. Yeah, because it left some of them out. And let's just see what key cards we have in Rebellion that we need to level up. I don't think Camouflage is that big of a deal, personally, but what I do think is a big deal is getting this thing to 3 damage for only 5. So yeah, it's 25, so if you can afford it, get this thing to level 4. Get that 3 range damage. The Demon, I don't know if I've ever seen this card used. Get it to level 2 for the True Strike. Yeah, getting it 2 more levels higher is just 2 more health. Don't see this card played a lot, but once again, you want to have as many cards in your arsenal as you can. So if you're going to get every card, get it to the minimum value or the minimum level that's going to give value to your team. Definitely would get that one to level 2. The Bowdog, level 3 for the second attack. The Archer, this is an elf, which is fantastic with that summoner from Conclave Arcana, Kalia. Unfortunately, he gets a second attack above silver. So since he's only getting 1 attack and he's not gaining any other abilities, all he's gaining is a speed and a little bit of health. If the budget is tight and you got to cut costs, definitely just get 1 copy of this card. Don't worry about leveling it. The Nymph, really nice to have some cards with immunity in your deck. It gains nothing else other than immunity, does not gain that second attack until level 6. So just go ahead and just pick up 1 copy of this card and call it good. Pirate of 8. Level 3, he gets his second attack. So definitely go for level 3. Don't worry about level 4. Don't spend, 11 extra copies just to get 1 health. For silver, it's not worth it. The Flame Mephit. Once again, it gets an ability above silver. So right now, just go for level 3. 2 attack for 2 is huge. I mean, look at this card. For 2 mana, you're getting 2 attack, 3 speed, or 3 health, 2 speed, and flying for only 2 with no drawbacks. So definitely get this card to level 3. Torch, another, like I said, elf. Elf is such a powerful meta. So let's look and see for him. Level 4 is max. For silver, I would concentrate on, let's see, definitely level 2 to get that second attack. He only gains 1 more speed and 1 more health for that additional 20 cards, so I would just leave him at level 2. The Hunter. Hunter, definitely a card you want to get to level 4 for silence. So there's going to be a few cards that you definitely want to get to max silver. This is one of them. You want to get that silence. The Anarchist, great card being neutral with opportunity. So he's kind of a mini Deke Lurker. Really only need a copy, 1 copy. You know, if you're worried about going up against an opposing one, you can get it to level 2, so you've got 1 more health. So, you know, you would survive if you have to go head to head, but for the most part, a single copy of this card is good. The Regulator, Uland, doesn't get another damage until level 6. He gets True Strike and Opportunity right away. Just grab 1 copy of that card. Don't worry about leveling it up. This card I love. I thought this was going to be another card that we saw all the time in Modern. Love the card, just get it to level 2, get that 3 damage. I mean, look at this thing. This thing is huge. I thought this would be the new Curse Windiku, but haven't seen it a whole lot, but it is a very strong card. But yeah, definitely just get it to 2. You're only gaining 1 more speed and 1 more armor, so not crucial to get it maxed out. Chaos Jailer. This is one of my favorites. Get this card to level 2. Get that poison. That is huge. And if you're worried about survivability and you do have the funds, you definitely want to go. If you get it to 2, it's either 2 or 4. Don't mess with just getting it to level 3. Either leave it at 2, or if you're worried about having that 1 extra point of armor for a little protection, you have to decide if that extra 20 copies is worth it or not. But like I said, I love this card at 2. It just gets even better at level 4. But this is not necessary, but it's nice. Let's see, the Fighter. Fighter, level 3 for the second attack. You want it to be able to do a little bit more damage than it does at level 2. The extra level just gives it 1 more armor. Not worth it for 11 extra copies, so just get that one to level 3. The Bolter, great card with the dual attack and with headwinds right off the bat. Get it to level 3 so you get that extra range damage. Don't worry about getting it to 4. Like I said, some of these cards you want to get to max silver, otherwise it's not that important. This one is another card you definitely want to get to level 4. There are very, very few cards in Rebellion that have self-heal. This is one of them. Since this is one of the very few with self-heal, if you can get it in silver, get it. So definitely get that one to level 4. This card, I don't think I ever see this card either. But what's really nice is the True Strike. So if you're going to get this card, get it to level 3. Get that 4 damage that's not going to miss. Reverse speed, this card is awesome, but for the most part, you definitely want to just get it to level 3. There's another one. You're not going to use it often, but when you have it in your arsenal, you're going to be glad you did. This card is fantastic. You know, love this card, and don't overlook the deflect. So when you go up against Tofu, any cards that have the ability to get deflect in silver level or below, you want to get deflect. So this is another card I would highly recommend getting this to max silver. Wailing Wraith, level 4, definitely for the Affliction. Don't overlook this card. It gets its second attack at 3, but you definitely want to get it to level 4. Especially if you go up against Avina. Magus. This is another card I thought you might see from time to time, because this is one of, I think there's only a couple of cards in Rebellion that have the Bloodlust at any point. This one does get it at max silver, but the thing that kind of holds it back is the scatter shot. So you're not going to be hitting the same target to kill it and get the bloodlust. It's very random, so it's not reliable. But just the fact that you have the opportunity of maybe getting a bloodlust, if this is something that you can afford, get it to level 4. Otherwise, just go for 1. It's either 1 or 4. Either have 1 copy to have in your arsenal and call it good, or if you feel like kind of rolling the dice and hoping you get a bloodlust every once in a while, you know, this is Little League, then go for it. But yeah, I would say for the most part, just get a single copy. Unless, like I said, money is no object. Okay, now we're starting to get up to where the summoners are, the archons. And like I said, the archons, you want to get these to level 4. Let's take a look at the demon. Corrosive ward at 3. So flying. So yeah, he doesn't get the 3rd attack to level 5. So damage, speed stays the same. Yeah, just get level 3. Don't worry about level 4. Don't get the level 11 extra copies. And then we have the Archons. We have the Moxian Rebel. Just get 1 copy. Call it good. Yes, it's very squishy. As you level it, basically it just gets 1 more health. You know, 1 health, 1 health, and then it gets camouflage. But yeah, for the most part, this isn't a card you plan on surviving. You're just using it for weapons training for the cards next to it. So just get 1 copy of the Rebel. You should be good there. And then another card, I thought I would see this card all over for the heal. There's not a lot of tank heals in Rebellion. So I thought for sure you'd see this card a lot. And especially there's so many magic spam. You know, I figured, okay, you're going to see a lot of magic spam battles with this thing in the back to heal the magic attackers in the front. I really don't see it that often. And then Lookout is just kind of icing on the cake in case you come up against Captain Philblade. So this is another card to definitely get this thing at least to 2, and I would highly recommend getting this thing to level 4 to get that Lookout. Don't overlook the importance of that. But yeah, I thought I would see that card a lot more than I do. Okay, so that's it for the rares. And like I said, epics and legendaries are going to kind of depend on your budget. So I'm not going to go as much in depth on the epics. I'm just going to kind of point out some key cards. Once again, have at least 1 copy of each of these, you know, in your arsenal. We'll take a quick look though. So epics, you only have to worry about getting to level 3. I don't know if you want Scattershot, so I would just leave that one at level 1. The Hatchling, I don't know if I've ever seen this card played. Once again, just get it to level 1. This card, level 1. Yeah, the epic. Some of the epics in this set are just very weak. Weaken is nice, you know, but I don't know how often you're going to play this. You know, with it kind of being a tank, do you really want this in the front and then it's going to die? So another card I would get to level 1. Now this one is a weapons trainer, so this one's a little bit more important. So this one I would definitely get to level 3 for the immunity, in case you come up in the poison rule sets, and this also keeps you safe from cripple. So this is the first epic I would say you definitely want to get to level 3. Firestorm. Once again, get a copy to have in your arsenal. If you want to buy 9 more copies to get that extra magic damage, I don't know how much you're going to play this card. So I would say just 1 copy. I love the Harbinger. And especially, once again, level 3 immunity. Go for him at level 3. Cror, another weapons trainer, but I don't know how often you're going to do weapons training for something for only 2 melee damage. It's very limited, unless it's like a melee that can attack from anywhere, and you put a couple of, you know, weapons training cards on either side of it. You know, this might be one that you very rarely play and you only need 1 copy. I wish I got the heal 1 level lower, but does not get heal in silver. The dragon, not very many cards with flying and immunity. Definitely just get 1 copy of that. Call it good. Palace is a great card. Now we start, you know, the more expensive ones, of course, are the better ones. Lookout, I don't think this is important with this card simply because he's going to be in the number 2 position with the reach. So the only ones taking less damage would be the tank, and the one in the third position, so kind of limited. But you definitely want to have this card in your arsenal just because of the kindred spirit. So definitely one copy for him. And then Toledo, one of the few cards that's a tank healer. And then you want to get him to level 2 for the lookout. Don't worry about getting him to level 3. Scion, awesome card. Did not think this card would be as powerful as it is. Really the only drawback this has is in poison rule sets. You know, it's going to ignore the armor and go straight for the health and die instantly. One copy is a must-have. Do you want 9 extra copies just for 1 more damage? That's up to you. That's a personal choice. Like I said, if money is an object, then don't worry about that extra damage. And then Captain Fellblade, another fantastic card. Want to get this one to level 3 because you want that strengthen. All right, so let's look now at the legendary cards. For these, for Max Silver, of course, you need level 2s. And I don't know the budget, so I don't know if you want to go for 3 copies of each of these, because this could get very, very pricey. If you can afford it, I would say at least for like the ones under $20, get at least one, just to kind of beef up your deck. Like I said, so much of this just depends on how much money that you have available to spend. As far as the non-archons go, I would say Lord Thanalor, you definitely want 1 copy of. Level 2, it gets Scavenge, which is great, but like I said, it all comes down to money. But he is definitely a card that I like. You want to get him to level 2. Rage at level 2 gets weapons training. This is just an absolute deadly card on its own. Now you give it weapons training, and you can give it max of 3 power, 3 on each side. This is just going to wipe out your opponent. So if there is a legendary that you get to level 2, make it Rage. And especially now, he's getting cheaper. He's down to $10. So let's see, you can get a level 2. Is there any level 2s? Nope. There's a level 3, but now you're looking at $48, and that's gold level. So for $30, if you buy 3 of them, if you can afford that, getting him at level 2 is fantastic. But definitely have 1 copy of Rage. Have 1 copy of Venka. Rush is another great one, 1 card. So a lot of these, even if you just have 1 BCX of it, definitely is going to help your deck. Don't feel like you have to have everything maxed for silver. Okay, I think that's it for Rebellion. The promo cards. Promo cards, I would say, for the most part, since these are going to rotate out soon, shouldn't be like a main focus. But you should get, I would say, at least 1 of the commons and the rares. The only common is Mana Warden. If you are going to get a Mana Warden, get him at least to level 2 for that extra attack. And if you want to go for Impede, that's fine. Don't worry about getting him to level 5. Level 4 is high enough for him for silver. Okay. And then as far as the rares go, all of these rares, I would say just get a copy, just to have them in your deck. I don't think there's a whole lot that's huge. I mean, Moss Mender, if you want to get that cleanse, that's huge, because you can play it with life and with earth. So Moss Mender, if you're not worried about it rotating out in the next few months, definitely go for level 4 there. Same thing with Keelan Gaines. You want him level 4 so that he gets that backfire. What else? What does the Enforcer get? Enforcer gets True Strike, and he's very cheap. So yeah, definitely get him to level 4. Grimbarden Smith, we all know how good Grimbarden Smith is. I would just go level 3. Don't worry about going to level 4. Just get that Void. Rune Anarchist. Phase Ward, so the thing in the front gets phase. This could be awesome in the Magic only rule sets, plus you can play it in 2 different splinters. So if money's not an object, get it to level 4. If you can't afford that, just a single copy is going to be great. Warborn Shaman, I remember this card was under $2, and then people realized just how good it is. But I think what people don't realize is that it gets ambush at level 4. I see this at a lot of lower leagues, lower level. I don't see it level 4 and higher for ambush. So once again, if you can afford it, definitely get that ambush at level 4. And then the Vicar is one of the few cards that has the rear cleanse. And it's also water and fire. So since you can get cleanse and rearguard cleanse, and this is probably one of the, very few cards that have both abilities, get this card to level 4 if you can afford it. But if you can't afford it, leave it at level 1. Okay, and then like I said, for the epics, none. Legendaries, I would not worry about. You know, these are going to be a little bit pricey. I would rather have you save this money for the other sets. Okay, Rebellion reward cards. So we can't earn these anymore. We're currently earning Conclave Arcana rewards. So if you don't have these cards, definitely pick some of these up. Let's see what they have. Are there any at level 5? There's only 3 of them. So I would say the key cards to level from the set, not this card. I know Brave gets Silence at level 4, so you definitely want to have him at level 4. You know, I'm kind of going to assume that whoever's listening to this video already has these cards, that has played when we could earn them, but there might be some viewers that did not and do not have these cards, so that's why I'm going to go through it now. This guy, Demon, just get him at level 1. Like I said, it's all about having versatility in your deck. This card, get to level 5 for the second attack. These are very cheap, so these are not going to cost you a lot of money. The Skink is another one you're going to want to level to 5 for the phase. The Wild Elf, which is great because it's an elf, goes great with Kalia. This is one, though, you really only need at level 2 for the Amplify. Chaos Evoker, great card, level 5. You want to get this card to 5 for Ambush. Ambush and Blast. This card is huge. It's going to hit for 2, blast, and then starts the turn, it's going to blast again. So definitely get that to 5. Broken Earth Thug, you want it to level 4 for the cripple. If you're worried about getting attacked and you want to go for that extra armor, you can, but remember, you're going from 30 copies to 60, so how important is that 1 point of armor for you? But definitely get it to level 4. The Huntress, just get a single copy. Explorer, not Dora, the other Explorer. Level 5 for Armored Strike. Decent, but you really don't use it. At least I don't use it that much. So once again, if funds are an option, just get level 1. If you really don't mind spending a little bit more money, definitely get it to level 5. The Elder, want this to level 5. Definitely want to max this one out to get that strengthen. And then the Trader, I think it gets it at level 4. Level 4 gets Headwind, so get level 4, don't worry about level 5. Alright, next are the rares. Let's see, him you want level 4 for the Leopard. The Razor Hound, you want at level 4 as well for the True Strike. The Chaos Adjutant, I don't think Snare's that big of a deal. If you do, go for 3, otherwise just get a single copy. Dark Arborist, I know, gets Magic Reflect at 3, but at level 4 it gets that second attack. So I would recommend getting this thing to level 4. Get it to max silver. Johnny Rebel, level 1's good enough. Dragon Egg Forger, level 3 for the Scavenge you really want to get. The Legionary, you definitely want to get that Void. This is key. A lot of times there's going to be battles. You get this thing in the front. It gets hit with thorns, with melee. You're going to take thorns damage, and if you can throw Void on top of it, this card becomes very, very good for a rare. So you definitely want to get him to max silver. The Slinger, level 4 for the slow. Definitely want to get him there. The Nomad, level 4 for strength. And as you can see, these reward cards are very good in the rare slot. Level 4, Retaliate. Once again, a card you want to get to max silver. Continuum Seer, level 3 phase. Level 4 gets a second attack for only 4 mana, so you want to get this one to level 4. And then we all know how awesome Commander Slate is, and at level 4 he gets Deflect. And as I said earlier, any card you can get that can get Deflect in silver or bronze, you want to make sure you get that. So definitely get Slade to 4. Okay. Epics. I think all the epics you want to get to level 2 minimum. The Refugee at level 3 gets the self-heal, which is the highest you can play in silver. So the Refugee you definitely want to get to 3. Olivia gets Mimic at level 2. The Blade does get Lookout at 3, so get the Blade to level 3. The Conjurer gets Piercing. So if you can get the Conjurer to 3, I would recommend that. Night Reapers, another. These epics are just fantastic. Once again, a card with Deflect, get it to level 3. And Shock Trooper, you get Speed, you get Swiftness at 3. And my favorite, the Weaver, at 3 gets Scavenger. So yeah, it's very, very powerful. I would put all these epics, basically these all should be legendaries. I think they're that good. And as far as the legendaries go from the set, for all the 1 mana cards, just get a single copy of them if you can. Like I said, these cards are not needed, like must have cards. So it, like I said so many times, it all depends on budget. If you can afford to get a single copy of all of these, I think that's good enough. I don't think you really need to get these higher level for silver. So that's it for the legendaries. Okay, so we're done with Rebellion, we're done with Foundations. Now let's look at Conclave Arcana. So this video is going a little bit long. Let's see if we can kind of speed this up going forward. So, there's not very many level 5s, because I like it because then it shows the abilities all in the beginning. So let's just kind of see, are these any of these that we need to get to level 5? Yes, he has to get to level 5 to get the Headwinds. For the Wood Troll, the Gorgon, level 5 for the Cripple. So that's basically what you're going to do for your commons. You're going to look to see if they get anything special at level 5, which is max silver. If they don't, then see when they get the next attack. Like he gets his attack at 3, level 3 is good enough. Portly Cannoneer is great with that Inspire. Level 5 gets Return Fire, so yep, get him to 5. Cindergrim, level 5 gets Painforge, so you want that. Buttercup Mauler. Reveal. Is Reveal really that important? I don't think so. So I would concentrate just to get it to level 3. Mad Kaboomist. Level 5, once again, Reveal. Otherwise, just go for level 3 to get that Divine Shield, since he's only got 1 health. Stepstalker, great card. Want to get this to 3 definitely for that slow. And then if you can afford it, get it to 5 for the Painforge. The Warlock, he gets speed, doesn't he? He gets speed at level 2, then he gets Backfire at level 5. I would say definitely get level 2. It's either 2 or 5. If you're not going to give him to 5, just leave him to 2. Level 3 and 4 doesn't make a lot of sense, so it's either 2 or 5, depending on your budget. Coalstorm Mage, level 1, good enough. Stampeding Calf, level 5 for the Weaken. Because with Charge, he's probably going to be towards the back. He's going to survive longer, so he's going to make sure that Weaken stays in play for a bit. The Artificer, Lookout. Yeah, if you can get it to level 5. Once again, this is another card you either want level 1 or level 5. It's either all or nothing, depending on your play style. The Hucker, level 5 definitely for the slow. The Brigand, This one gets Demoralize, another card you want to get to level 5, max silver, especially only for 2 mana. This is another card I absolutely love at level 5 for that poison. Having that shield ward and poison, this is a very, very good card. So definitely get that one to max silver. Same thing with the Sage. Once you get the Sage to level 5, it gets that tank heal. There's not a lot of tank heal cards, and this thing's a beast with 4 range damage and shield. And yeah, this card is a beast. Definitely get that card to 5. Love that card. Same thing with the Tracker. But once again, the Tracker you only need to get to level 3 for the repair. Don't worry about getting it to level 5. The only thing you're gaining is 2 more armor, which is not that huge. Boring Hobgoblin, he may be boring, but he is a card, once again, you want to get to max silver to get that silence. Being a neutral, you can throw him in just about any deck. And that silence is really going to help you out. Mystic Mudbinder. Yep, Void Armor. Yep, you want him at level 5. Thunderous Herald. Level 5 for the Relentless Strike. Not a lot of cards with that, so you definitely want that ability in silver. Vicious Giraffe, we all know how good that card is. You want the Shatter. You want level 5. Caravan Guard is another one. You want to get it to level 5 because you want not just the triage, but you also want the headwinds. Another fantastic card. This card should not be a common. It should be at least a rare. And then the Wayfinder. Got to get it to 5 for the Void. I think we all know that. And then the most expensive common now is a Tidal Tsunamist. And it's because it has repair at level 5, so definitely get the repair. Okay, so we made it through the commons for Conclave Arcana. Now let's take a look at the rares. Like I said, I'm trying to go quick through this because there's a lot of cards to go through. And we're already over 40 minutes, so we haven't even got to escalation yet. Okay, level 4, yep, for the Relentless Strike, because it's neutral. So don't overlook that card. The Stout, level 2. Don't worry about level 4. So save you a little bit of money there. Canary Keeper. I've seen this played from time to time. Get it to level 4. Look at this. 2 attack for 2. And it's got Dispel. Yeah. Very overlooked card. The Owl. Enfeeble. And Execute. I think this is an overlooked card. I don't know if I've seen it played a whole lot, but yeah, Enfeeble. Another card, it's either 1 or 4. Or actually, I should say 2. Get it at least to level 2 so you're getting that 2 magic damage, in case you're in the magic-only rule sets. And then it's up to you whether you want to get that Enfeeble or not. But I would say definitely get it to level 2. Another card, I like this card too. But yeah, just get this card to level 1. Don't worry about having more than one of him. The Orc, so he gets Flank. You definitely want that. So you want him at level 4. The Huntswoman, level 4 for that 3 attack. Otherwise, it's just too weak. So Homunculus, level 1, good enough. It's just a small, tiny meat shield. Flame for Hire. Another card you want to get to level 4 for that Painforge. Johnny Oracle, sister of Johnny Rebel. I wish it got strength at level 4, but it doesn't, so I would only worry about getting this to level 3. Don't worry about those 11 extra copies. Just get this to 3 for that second damage. Shadowy Sheik, level 4 for the Painforge. Archer Koi, level 4, once again for Painforge. As you can see, a lot of cards start getting Painforge once you get to that max silver level. Shield Maiden, level 4, gets Armored Strike. Shanker, another elf card. You want it to level 4 for that rebirth. This comes in so handy. Level 4 for the weekend, definitely. This card is another one that should be probably an epic. Double attack, reach, cripple, return fire, and weaken. And it's a rare. No, this should be an epic. So definitely get that to 4. Silverleaf Ranger, self-heal. All I need to say, self-heal at level 4. Get that self-heal. And hope you're not weary 5 times in a row. Platypus. Level 4 for the poison, definitely. Water Diviner. Level 2 is all you need. I mean, if you want to go to level 3 for that 1 extra health for a little bit of survivability, you can. But yeah, 4, no. Definitely get it 2, and then it's up to you if you want to spend a little bit more money to get it that 1 extra health. Okay, Runic Sky Chunk. Level 2. That's all you need. Happy Quokka. Level 4 for the weapons training. I think people forget that this is also a weapons trainer, because usually people just play it for the opportunity. Half Shell Seer. Level 3 is good enough. Deep Delver. Great card. I should see it more than I do. Corrupted Healing. Come on, guys. You know I love the Weaver for Corrupted Healing. Death just has another Corrupted Healer. If it has that ability to get it, you get it. Get this card to level 4. 2 Corrupted Healers. They can heal each other. Good times. Silverleaf Mage. Poison Burst at level 4. You guys have seen this a lot in action, so definitely want to get that to max silver. So as you can see, there's some cards that are kind of must-have at certain levels and other ones that aren't. Okay, now we're up to the Archons, and once again, it's just, you know, you have to spend the money. If you're looking for max silver, these are the main ones you're going to have. You know, these are the ones that are going to last the longest. The Rebellion one, if you have to choose between Rebellion and Conclave Arcana for your Archons, go with these. Go with the rares. This is your best bang for your buck. These are going to be in Modern a lot longer than the Rebellion ones. The 2 that are available right now at level 4, max silver, 25 to 40 bucks. That's going to be about what you're going to spend. You know, maybe a little bit less. Maybe you can get him for 13 to 15. Same with this. But, you know, for a silver level deck, these cards are great. All right, so let's look again at the epics. So I'm not as familiar with the epics because I don't see many of these played. I do see a few of them. So let's take a quick look and see if there's any that we need to get to level 3. Dragon, Painforge at 2, and extra damage at 3. I would say go for level 2. Don't see this card played a lot. Same thing with this. But Bloodline Tribute, is there really a lot of Drakachans? Maybe eventually this will be a good card, but for now, just like I said, have a single copy if you can afford it. If you have to just pick one card of everything, definitely, like I said earlier, the commons and rares. Epics if you can afford to get at least one of each, but don't feel like you have to, because like I said, some of these cards you're just never going to use. But so much, like I've said, depends on budget. This one, slow at level 3. If you can afford it, definitely get that one to level 3. The Elemental with the taunt and the speed and deflection shroud. Yeah, this card is fantastic. Definitely get that one to level 3. The Elemental, I see this from time to time. Silence at level 3. Don't need to see any more. Get him to 3. Hodlore. Dispel is not super important for this card, so definitely just get it to 2 for that extra ranged attack. Love this card. Just get it to level 2. That's good enough. Juggernaut. Level 3 for the Painforge. Ferris Brewer, level 3 for the Relentless Strike. Another fantastic card, Leolin, level 3, True Strike, Swiftness, and Relentless Strike. Putting that to, oh, such a good card. This, to me, borderline legendary, that card. Flame Eye, level 3 for Thorns. For Earth may not be necessary because if you're playing this, you're probably playing Tofu, who's going to give it Thorns anyway. So I would say just go for level 1. Unless you don't have Tofu, then get level 3. Lucky Longshot, we all know is a weapons trainer, but you want to get it to level 3 so that it also has magic instead of just ranged. So yeah, this is definitely a card you want to get to level 3. And then last, Blaze Beard. You want the piercing. Yep, you definitely want the piercing. You don't want all that just going to the armor, especially when it's got incendiary and he's not going to last long. Okay, and then next are the legendary cards. I would say for most of these, for a silver level deck, just get a single copy. You know, if you can afford to get 3 of the legendary Archons, of course, definitely go for that. These are going to be in circulation in Modern more than Rebellion. So if it's your choice between, you know, getting a Lorcus or a Cryptic or a Tofu or these guys, I would lean towards going with these because these are going to be in Modern longer. So, and these are much cheaper than the Rebellion ones. So for the trying to think if there's any of these that you definitely want to get to level 2. Let's see how many are at level 2. A few of them. So level 2, Inept Healer, definitely for the Corrupted Healing. Level 2 for Greybrow for the Resurgence. Any other ones, I think. I mean, these are nice, but not necessary. Taylor Swift, level 2 to get the Inspire. The other one that I really like, I'm trying to see what it gets at level 2, is Hemlig. Oh, Deflect. Yep, you want Deflect. Yep, so many cards to go through. And Relentless Strike, level 2. So once again, this comes down to budget. If you can afford to get all these to 2, you know, go ahead and get them to 2. Otherwise, just worry about a single copy. Of course, they get better at level 2, to be expected. Okay, so that's enough with that. What else do we have? Do we go through the promos? The Pickle. If you get a Pickle, yeah, get your Max Pickle, Max Silver Pickle, and get that shield with weapons training. He's going to be good. So definitely get a Max Pickle. They're cheap. Skinwalker, he's a rare. Just get level 3 for the Inspire. Don't worry about getting level 4. Duldris, the new card, you want level 4. Whoa, Destiny. Grats to Destiny. Look at all those gold foil arcanes. It's a rare, common, an Archmage. There's a rare, wow, a lot of gold arcanes. There's a black arcane. And this, a Kalia gold arcane. So grats to Destiny. Fantastic pull right there. Yep, so this one you want to get to level 4. Claveria. Let's see. Camouflage. I would say just get level 2 for that one. Like I said, I'm assuming money is not an object where you can get at least one of each of these cards. Don't feel like you have to. Inspire. Yep, definitely want Tososhi at level 3. Legendary only gets level 2. Apex Strike. Of course, you want that. So yeah, you pretty much know. You know, go for the most cost-effective deck that you can. Like I said, if money's no object, definitely pick these up. But promos aren't as important. You know, the main thing you want to focus on are the core and your reward cards. The extra cards are cards that are being pulled out of rewards chests. So this could be another part of your deck that to focus on. I would say just concentrate on the common or rare. The epic and the legendary are going to be extremely hard to pull, and they're going to be extremely hard for you to level. Just one copy, you get protect. So for the epic, if you can just get one at a reasonable price, get the one just to get that protect. If you're able to get it to level 3, fantastic for the repair, but don't feel like you have to. The protect is enough. And then the legendary is probably too expensive for most people to worry about and too rare, so we won't really worry about that one. The common, so this is probably the one that you'll be able to get the easiest. Definitely get it to level 5 if you can. I mean, 13 cents a copy. It's going to have 4 attack, and it does have rust at level 4. So either level 4, I would say, to get the rust, and then if you want that 1 extra attack, you can go for it. And then for the 2 rares, so you get Lookout for this card, but it also has Reckless. I don't think this card is going to be used a lot, honestly, and I think that's why the price is low. So I would get 1 copy of this just to have it in your deck. I would not worry about leveling it. Busy Beaver, level 4 gets Protect, and it gets Stun at level 2. This is a great card. It's got Reckless, so it's damaging things on either side of it. So that's the thing that hurts. But then, of course, you know, there are situations we'll use this card. Overall, I would say just get it to level 2. You're probably not going to use it a ton. If you have the funds and can pick it up cheap, yeah, go for the Protect. And let's wrap this long video up with Escalation. So this is the newest set. So of course, a lot of people haven't had a chance to do too many deep dives into these cards. So let's kind of take a look and see what we need for the commons and the rares. So once again, level 5 commons are as high as we can get. This is huge, okay? Invigorate. Allied units cannot be exhausted. So you saw that there's a lot of cards that have Weary, but what we're going to have to check too is how many of them are in the Death Splinter that have Weary. So this Invigorate looks great, but how many death cards are there that get Weary? The only one that comes to mind is the neutral, Halfling Refugee. So this card is great for the Refugee. We'll have to do a deep dive at some other point and look at what other cards have that Weary ability. Invoker, level 3. That's all you need for him. Living Berm, level 5 for the Thorns. This would be great because you're probably going to have him in the back, so any kind of sneak monsters are going to hit that Thorns wall. And also draws the attacks from enemies with Snipe, Apex Snipe, and Opportunity. So they're going to go right for this guy. More than likely they're doing melee damage and they're going to get Thorns. So yeah, definitely get this guy to level 5, Living Berm. God Snot. Level 5 gets Oppress, double damage. So this is the card that takes out weapons training cards. So you're already doing 6 damage to it. Now you're going to be doing 12. So this card is just all around fun. Definitely get a copy. You know, of course, you're going to want at least 1 copy of all these cards. But this one, just get it to 5. You're going to have fun when that thing goes off on a non-attack card. Another huge damage. Look at this. At level 5, 7 damage and Demoralize. So get that one to level 5. Phlegmost. Level 5 gets Weaken. Gets Reprisal at 3. So yeah, definitely get him to 5. Silver Shield Sentry. Level 4, it gets Bulwark. I don't think I've seen this ability. First position, -2 power, 8 health, and 8 armor. So when he gets in the front and he's close range, he's not going to be doing hardly any damage, but he's going to be just huge. And he gets that extra attack. Yep, definitely get him to 5. Another huge card, 5 magic damage right off the bat. I don't think Dispel is that important for this card. Just get a single copy. Another 5 magic damage card, but at 5 it gets Impede. So you're going to slow your opponent. So yep, definitely get him to 5. That can be very useful. Steel Shield Arborist. Level 5 gets Reveal. Once again, I don't know how important Reveal is to you, but definitely get it to 2 for Decoy. And then the Travesty, you want level 3 because you want that slow. Level 5, got 8 damage. There's no power creep in Splinterlands. And then Doom Shield Warden, want that definitely at level 3 for Relentless Strike. And then eventually, yeah, get this to 5 for that extra damage. So most of the commons you want to get to 5, but not all are necessary. Okay, the next thing we'll focus in on rares, and then we'll quickly kind of wrap up the video because I know we've been going an hour. Okay, Cleanse Rearguard. There's not many Cleanse Rearguard. Must get this one to 4. Just because that is such a rare ability. This one, Scattershot. This could be so much fun. Okay, definitely get a copy of him. Scattershot makes it so random, but it also makes it so fun. So either 1 or 4 for him. Depends on your play style. This one you want level 3 definitely for the repair. Level 4 for the extra damage. Yeah, go ahead and get that to level 4. Remember too, a lot of these cards are going to be very, very cheap. This one, I would say level 3, but look at level 4, it gets 2 more speed. So if you're really worried about speed, get it to 4, but I would say just concentrate on 3. Hex Priest, level 3, it gets Magic Reflect. Level 4, Max Silver, it gets an extra magic attack. So you want to get this one to level 4. And I love the artwork on that card. Sentinel, level 4 is Reveal. I would concentrate, just get it to level 2 for the slow. Bulwark. Well, for silver, I would say just get level 1. You know, you're going to get double the armor and a couple more health. So if there's other ways you can spend your money and other rares you can spend on that, it's more important to get them maxed than it is this one, is what I'm trying to say for that card. This card is fantastic at max level. But for silver level, you definitely want to get Having. So you definitely want that one at level 4. Cobalt of Burden. Get Swiftness at 4, so you want to get that at 4 for the Swiftness. Tactician, another weapons trainer, so at level 4 it gets Pinpoint, so your sneak attacks cannot miss. So you want that at level 4 as well. The Dark Guard, this looks like it should be a death card. Level 2. You know, level 4 you're getting 1 more damage. But yeah, I would say definitely just get level 2. And then finally, Life Ward Channeler. Level 4, it gets Void Armor, so this could be huge for survivability, so we definitely get that one to 4. Okay, so rounding this out for the epics. So epics we can get to level 3. Final Rest. I'm not a big fan of Final Rest, but there's not very many cards that have that ability, so I would just get level 1 of that one. This one, Reprisal. Yep, I would get this one to level 3. Let's just get Kindred Spirit. Yep, you want Kindred Spirit, so you want that one at level 3. Snippet, level 3. Bloodline Tribute for Mundun Beasts. You definitely want this because you want him with Captain Frankie. So yep, you want him at level 3. Greymane, level 1. It looks like, unless there's other things now. Oh, wait, there's other abilities that have not loaded yet. Because all I saw was this, and I'm like, oh, where's the other abilities? Okay, so he gets Amplify at 2, Dispel at 3. I would say level 2. Dispel is not that important for that card. Level 3 you want for Kindred Spirit. Level 3, yep, you want Determined. In case you don't know, Determined means if you miss an attack, making a second attack, you make a second attack against the same target. So for so many of us that have bad RNG, this will allow you to hopefully hit that second chance, and then demoralize is just even better. And then our final epic, phase is huge, weapons training is nice. So you definitely want 2 for the weapons training. And then, yeah, if you can get phase on top of it, that's even better. But concentrate just getting that to level 2. And then once again, for the legendaries, if you can afford it, get 1 of each legendary. Let's see, of these, are any of them worth it getting to level 2? I think they all get bloodline packed at level 2. So for this one being an elf, and elf is a very strong bloodline, I would get that one to level 2 if you can. This one is an orc, same thing. I don't think orcs are played as much, so it may not be as important. Same thing with Tilly. Gnomes are important, so maybe get Tilly. It all depends on what your favorite bloodline is. This one gets Kindred Will, so yep, level. So it looks like all of the legendaries you're going to want to get to level 2. But like I said, it just depends on your budget. Yep, because it looks like all of them. Well, this one has charge. Yep, so I think I'm going to wrap the video up there. Okay, this one doesn't get anything at level 2, so this one you can actually leave at level 1. The only thing it's getting is an extra speed and health, so yep. So Vitascent you can leave at level 1. It looks like all the rest of them. Level 2 is much better for that bloodline pack for Uland. So yeah, so just get these to level 2 according to what bloodline you want to play. And then the ones that have Kindred Will and Kindred Spirit, you definitely want to shoot for that. And I think that's it, guys. I think we're going to wrap up the video. Thank you for sticking with me for this long video. Phase Ward, that is another good one. So magic only, you can play this card. You'll be doing some range damage and give the thing in front phase and opportunity. Yep, so that's another one you definitely want to get to max silver. Okay, guys, sorry for just saying a lot of it depends on your budget, but it really does. The key takeaway from this is in Modern, you want to concentrate on Conclave Arcana. Rebellion will be the next set that's phasing out. Don't forget about Rebellion. But if you're just starting out and you don't really have much of a deck, you're kind of starting from scratch, I would say concentrate on Conclave Arcana and concentrate on Escalation. Once you get that filled, just get like I said, 1 of each common and rare from Rebellion, from the Corn Reward, just to kind of round it out, because these are going to be rotating out next. So there's many different ways you can build decks. Like I said, I've tried to help you so you don't have to feel like you have to get max level every rarity. Just try to get the best cards for your situation. So hope this helped. Hope you found it useful. As always, stay the course, keep on forging, have fun. And if you've liked the content, thank you once again to Doombot. He is a channel member, and he is the one that suggested this video. So give Doombot a shout out. Tell him thank you for the suggestion. And until the next time, guys, like I said, stay the course, keep on forging, have fun. And it's been a long day. I need to take a break. So I will see you again soon. Take care.